Welcome back, guys. We have the leather seats cleaned finally. What a sigh of relief, and protected. I want to continue on and do the same thing for the rest of the materials. Lots of different types of plastic and trim. And today I want to show you how the HydroSilex Interior Cleaner can be used for that purpose as well. Can be used on any hard surface to clean and freshen up any hard surface on the interior. This has plenty of panels that are absolutely just filthy, and I could show you how it works today. All you're going to need today is the HydroSilex Interior Cleaner, some B-tier microfibers, a detailing brush, or a P&S scrubber, or whatever you use to clean the interior. Not only your smooth plastic surfaces, maybe perforated, textured, but you can see how filthy this is. It's not from me. I wash my arms and hands before I leave the shop. But this door panel, just to start with, is just absolutely filthy. We're going to also clean this steering wheel. Nasty. And the center console armrest, which is a mess as well. Not the hugest fan of spraying directly onto the surface. So what I'll do is I'll point the nozzle right into the detailing brush and spray it in there. Mush it around with my fingers, and then work the corners, cracks, crevices, hard to reach areas, and let the bristles and the cleaner do the work. Load it up again. Lift up the door handle, get in all those tight spaces there. I'll dance around the buttons there without getting them crazy wet. That's what I want to avoid, spraying the cleaner directly onto surfaces and dripping down into electrical components. That's what I try to stay away from. And then down in the pocket. Now, down in the pockets, spray that cleaner down in there, let it soak a little bit, and then come back in and agitate it or wipe it up. This doesn't say anything about being diluted, no ratios on the back, so it comes ready to use. For all interior plastics, vinyl, and leather, it's more than just an interior cleaner. It preps the surface for interior coatings as well. Make sure the areas to be cleaned are cool and out of the sun. Spray an even mist onto the surface, which I don't like to do unless it's a huge seat or a panel. Work the solution into the surface, wipe it away gently, and the longer it sits on there and dwells, the better it will do. I like to wring out and clean the scrubber before I start, so that's nice and damp. And I'll just load it up with the cleaner. And then come in. I could spread it out on the panel like this, and then let it soak like the label says, and do its work, breaking down some of this garbage. Move on to the next panel, get that loaded up. Load up your pad again. So that's one way you can get the cleaner on there without it just dripping down, running into electrical circuits, and causing a hell of a mess and maybe some problems in the future if you keep doing it. The grill of the speakers down here in the pockets. Excuse me, my nose is running today. Allergies. And now the panel is damp without it running and dripping into the crevices. And you can let it sit for a couple minutes. And then either wipe it up or come up and go in circular motions, because these fibers of the scrubbing pad here, which are soaked with the cleaner, will get in those textured valleys and maybe even perforations if you're using it on a seat. And just scrub away. Right here where the elbow is always resting on the armrest. Down in these areas where you're always kicking with your feet, getting in and out. Down in these areas where you're unfortunately laying snacks and drinks and who knows what. And then finally in these areas where you're grabbing the handle to close the door. That's when I pick up my microfiber and mop up all that garbage from there. Pretty much successful here in cleaning up everything. Let me grab you guys and bring you in close. You saw how the door panel was just a couple minutes ago before we started. And this is how we are, this is where we stand now. Nice and fresh, clean. Even where you rest your arms, where you grab the handle to close it. Where you kick the doors, there were marks in the speaker. There's still some there, but I don't want to scrub too hard. I'm not sure, sometimes they're metal, sometimes they're plastic. I don't want to get too aggressive with that. I can come in and work that with a smaller brush later. The recessed pockets, nice and clean. And we would be ready for whatever protection you choose. Now, in the next video, I have something completely new to show you guys. Something for leather, plastic, hard surfaces, all hard surfaces, from leather and plastic and vinyl to black piano finish trim, wood trim, stainless steel, polished aluminum, your infotainment screens, everything. You're gonna love it, so stay tuned. All right, we're finished with the door panel. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna go back and tackle those areas there a little bit later. But the next thing I wanna do is clean up this gross steering wheel. So I can't do this, have you held up close with the camera, so let me put you back on its base. I'll clean it up and bring you in when I'm finished. I'm just going to stick with the scrubber here, and if I need to, I'll grab the detailing brush. And I'm not going to spray onto the steering wheel. That's going to run down and make a mess. But I'll spray into this scrubber here, and I can actually get a ton of the product on the steering wheel just by like squeezing it and letting some of that cleaner lay on the surface. I'll let it soak a little bit. I'm going to spray the surface of the cleaner again. And we can clean the steering wheel all the way around. I just like to wrap the scrubber around the wheel and twist it just like I'm doing it here. That does a fantastic job all the way around, even the stitches, cleans the stitches really well. Gives it a nice deep cleaning. I'm finding, as bad as this interior is, that the cleaner does a well enough job. I don't have to go back over these areas twice, which I'm obviously going to be a big fan of that. Then we'll come in with a towel and I'll mop all that crud up into the towel. Besides some scuffed up areas from jewelry, there, it looks fantastic. That looks so much better, feels so much better. It's not sticky anymore from all the oils and garbage. All right, that is done. No need to go over it again. Let me grab you guys and bring you in close. Look at that. Nice, fresh. Except for some of these areas, like a new wheel again. Let's go to another just nasty area right here. On a piece of tape for an interesting and gross 50-50 shot. This time, let's just spray directly onto the surface, and not any real electrical parts underneath there. And we'll just lightly spread it out. Let that soak a little bit. Come back in and scrub it. Mop it up. Unbelievable. Like I said, it needed it bad. And once again, no need to go over it twice. All right, good friends, I'm going to finish this up. It's pretty much the same routine all the way around. I'm going to use the same tools. Very effective. I'll be done with this thing quickly. I'm even going to do the floor mats with it as well. Again, this is the HydroSilex Interior Cleaner. It's for any hard surface on the interior of your car, truck, boat, RV, whatever. I'll put a link down below if you want to look into it a little bit further. Maybe you can add it to your arsenal. And again, if these videos are entertaining at all or they help, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, become part of the Apex family. What are you waiting for? Also, hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when we have new content available on the channel. This has been Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. Catch you in the next video.